What's happening, good people? Welcome to the channel. I'm Wes, aka Mr. Budget Watch, and today we are doing an eBay find. So this is something I picked up while I was having a little browse on eBay, and it came all the way from Japan. Now when I saw like what other people were paying for these, I thought, wow, why is it so much? So I ordered one, the cheapest one I found, which like I said was from Japan, and it came, and so far, I mean, it's been all right. It is going to need a little bit of TLC though. I've noticed, you know, the brushing and stuff's not great anymore. The bracelet, again, you know, needs rebrushing. And I can't determine whether, you know, the mid-links are high polish or someone's brushed it all, but just not to a very good standard. I mean, you can see it sort of shimmers. So I don't really know, but if you look closer, you can see sort of brush marks on it as well. So I really don't know whether it's just a really poorly finished bracelet that someone's done, or whether it came like, I don't really know. It's very old. Anyway, so I was actually looking to find out when this watch was actually made. So I couldn't really see anything, you know, on the listing or all where I picked it up from. So I was doing a bit of Googling, and by the way, this is not a sponsored video or anything. And yeah, I was just looking, and I found this. It's called watchsleuth.com. And what it is basically a Seiko date sort of estimator. So if you put a few little pieces of information in these three little columns here, it should give you a rough idea of when your Seiko was made. So I've tried this already. So if I put the movement caliber in, which is the 7S26, and I also know the case code, which is 0430, this is what you find on the back of your watch. And then you put the serial number in, and that should give you a rough idea of when the watch was actually made. Fortunately, I don't know the serial number for this, and neither does the seller. So I'm just going to have to go on that. So if I click calculate date, you can see right there, it should have been produced around 1996, but obviously it's hard to determine without the serial number. So that's just something cool I wanted to share with you today. Just if you've ever, you know, bought a Seiko and you're not sure sort of when it was produced, then that's a really good little tool, you know, to find. So I'll pop it in the description. You know, it might help you guys out. But yeah, from that piece of information, I've been able to find out the model number, which is the SNX A09, which again is something I didn't know until I found that website. And you know what? It's a beautiful little watch. We've got a really crisp white dial, and yeah, applied indices. It looks a little bit like a an SNX S73, which is another Seiko 5, but it's got a silver sunburst dial. But I really like this one. I'm not sure why, but anyway. So you can see it's got an exhibition case back with that 7S26. If you're not familiar with that movement, it's basically the movement that came before the NH35, so it sort of paved the way for that. This was found in a lot of dive watches like the SKX series and that family. And of course, tons and tons of Seiko 5s had this movement in as well. And obviously, if you know about Seiko 5, the 5 pillars that make a good, affordable watch. This one sort of doesn't follow that because it doesn't have the crown at the 4 o'clock position, it's at the 3. So this one doesn't follow all of them, but it's still, you know, really good. So it's got the bracelet, which it's supposed to have, the day-date complication, decent water resistance, and a couple of other things as well. The only issue is with this one, I can't really tell what the finish actually is because it's a little bit hard to tell. Now from camera, it looks polished, like from sort of here. But then when you're sort of looking a little bit closer, you can sort of see some really faint brush marks. So I don't know if someone's, you know, attempted to refinish this at some point and just done a very poor job, or if it's supposed to be sort of polished centers and then thingy, but just the shine of it, it doesn't look like a brushed bracelet. Just let me show you just for a prime example. So this, just, you know, ignore the watch, but if you look at a brushed bracelet, you can see, even from this distance, the sort of brush marks. But then when you sort of look at this one, it looks more polished, so I'm not really sure. The case sides though, I think, are at brush. You can just see there, there's some really faint brush marks. But then again, if you twist it in some angles, you can see it looks polished as well. So I don't know if someone's like attempted to refinish this and done a really bad job, which is why it's sold for so cheap. I don't really know, so I don't really know what to sort of do with it. Do I like fully brush the bracelet and refinish the case and, you know, try and bring it back? Or do I see if I can find some sort of pictures of how it looked originally and try and replicate that? I think that'd probably be the best option, right? To see what it should look like from the factory and, you know, try and replicate that. The clasp is brushed and it does have a really nice sort of chamfered polished edge, so I'll try my best to replicate that. High polished sides, that's fine. We'll leave that as it is because it's actually in pretty decent condition, which is surprising. Usually they're battered to hell on these older watches, but you know, it's in pretty good nick. Just a little bit of Cape Cod, you know, should bring that back up. Same with bezel again. Give that a little repolish, I think, and you know, sort of bring it back to how it was. The only thing I can't really fix though is the crystal. It's hard legs. If it was acrylic, bam, some polywatch and it'd sort of be done. But hard legs is really difficult to actually repair. Now, I have actually tried repairing mineral crystal before. I bought this kit. It's actually the same makers of polywatch. I'll pop up a picture of it now. And it's supposed to fix mineral crystals, but it didn't work. It was a massive waste of money. I followed the step-by-step, I then watched a couple of tutorials and nothing worked. So I don't know whether my crystal was too far gone to repair. This one could potentially, because this is not as badly damaged as the one I tried to fix. You can see, look, we've got a little scuff there, we've got a couple of scuffs around it as well. So could it be fixable? I don't know. But anyway, I do really like this little watch. So I think I'm going to, you know, look at some original photos and try and get it back to its sort of former, not as good as factory, obviously. There's no way I'm going to be able to get it as good as factory finish because, you know, I'm just not that talented. And I don't have the proper equipment either. So it's all going to be done by hand. But yeah, I think it's going to be a fun little project. You can see it's working absolutely fine, which is quite surprising. I think the seller said it could be needing a service at some point, which is another bloody thing as well. I actually phoned a local sort of watch shop up that does repairs as well, and the quote was ridiculous. It'd be cheaper to basically bin the watch and you know, buy a new one. Well, not you, like you can buy a new one of these, but you know what I mean. The cost of the repair would outweigh the watch. So I'm thinking, well, if the movement does eventually go, I might just bang in an H35 in it. I mean, it's still a Seiko, and it'll of course be better. Yeah, it won't be original, but there's no way I am paying what they quoted. So if you guys know any places like in the UK that do service these movements, that don't want to, you know, all your internal organs as payment, then, you know, let me know. Anyway, that's just it for this one. I might do this as a little series as well, just eBay finds every now and then, just a cool little stuff I pick up that doesn't sort of really come onto the channel in the form of a review. So let me know if you want to see more. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching the video. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any uploads. And of course, follow me on social media at Mr. Budget Watch. Thanks again. I'll see you soon.